What's good, YouTube land? In lieu of Creative Friday, I'm just going to show this video.
Hard to digest. Do not turn your back on me, Maximal Scum. Huh? Oh, no, not that.
Oh, and also, Beast Wars! And if it wasn't obvious already, we're looking at Rhinox. Finally, another Maximal! So here's his box. There's a nice picture of Rhinox right there. Rhinox right there. He is in the Voyager class. And do. Maximal symbol, which I will never... I now can't unsee that looks like it has a beard. Or at least sideburns. I say sideburns as I shaved mine off this morning. Or I guess now yesterday. And we got that picture right there. So, I forget. Oh, right. There's the character card. Thankfully, there's nothing hidden this time. Come on, get out of there, you bugger. Oh. Where is my blade? Oh. Where is Wesley Snipes? Never mind, I'll have to do it by hand. Alright. We got a Dinobot one again. What will it be this time? Is that supposed to be a Cybertronian form? I don't know. I think I've got this one before as well. So here is Kingdom Rhinox in his beast mode. I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about this toy, if I'm being honest. Because I love Rhinox. Like, he's sort of... I don't know the best way to describe Rhinox. It's sort of like the mentor figure to the team, the sort of old man on the team who you don't think would be good in a fight until he pulls out his fucking chain guns and mows your ass down. And whose nerves were constantly ruined by Rattrap, although, to be fair, Rattrap got on everyone's nerves. But I remember liking Rhinox. I can't remember everything he did. But let's look at what we do have. We have a nice looking rhinoceros. Although he's got red eyes, so I guess somebody just took a picture of him, or it's allergy season for him. I'm not sure. Okay, let's get the comparisons out of the way. Here he is next to the Thrilling 30 Rhinox, who's a bit taller, bit longer, and honestly, I haven't touched this guy in so long, I kind of forgot. The similar thing I said with Waspinator, this plastic felt good at the time. It feels now sort of creaky and sort of frightening to mess with, as opposed to this, which is just solid, just better plastic. This is the epitome of how far we've come since about, what, 2013? 14? When this guy felt good at the time, and now just kind of feels, way too creaky and way too freaky with some of his transformation steps. Although, if you want to talk freaky, we'll get to the transformation of this guy eventually, but we have to talk about the Rhino mode first. I'm not sure which one is more accurate, although apparently this one wasn't designed based off the show. It was based off, I don't know if it was a comic book depiction of Rhinox or something, but from what I read on TF Wiki, this design at least wasn't inspired by the show. Wasn't going for show accuracy. This, I don't know either, really. I know it's going for a realistic rhinoceros, but I don't know where it falls in terms of show accuracy. We'll find out more in robot mode, I guess, or somebody will let me know, but get a close-up on his mouth. Nice rows of silver teeth picked out here. And if there's any doubt, his tongue is, and the bottom of his mouth are both picked out in pink. Or is that red? Oh, no, it's somewhere. It's somewhere in the pink to range ratio. One thing I'm not the biggest fan of, the sort of exposed hinges left bare and green. Like it's not an absolute destroyer for this beast mode, because frankly, all the panel lines are gonna, decide whether you believe this is an actual rhinoceros or just a robot in disguise. Who would have ever thought? But maybe they're made out of that palm unpaintable plastic, and that's why they had to be left green. And other than that, you got some robot mode kibble on the bottom, along with his guns, yes, shoved up his ass. They are filling out his ass. But why are parts of his ass different colors? Like, why is that section different colored plastic? I don't. Maybe that's just what they had to go with. But, oh, his head is also visible right there. And if you want to go so far, his arms are right there. There is a small amount of articulation in Rhino mode. His mouth can open all the way like that, which feels a lot better than the old ones, which also popped out a robot mode head. So there's that. Also, due to the hinge there, you can give his shoulders some outward swing, as if he's trying to fly. You also have a full shoulder joint, which will be used in the robot mode, but it's nice to give some expression in this mode. And you do have an elbow joint. Can we do the I'm a Cockney thing that the original Optimus Primal could do? Sort of. And you do have an elbow swivel, but that's more. These are more for robot mode, but they are nice to use in beast mode. Give them a bit of emotion and such. His head can nod a tiny bit, not much. And the back legs are distinctly only for beast mode because they get folded away in the interesting transformation. They are on a ball joint, so you can get a decent amount of range. Not full, but, you know, you can get some motion out of them. I'm just, for comparisons, I'm just going to go with Kingdom Maximals. Otherwise, we'd be here all freaking day. So here we got Cheetor. Rat Trap. Optimus Primal. And Air Razor. Oh, wait. Air Razor, stand up, please. And Transmutate. Because we can't ever forget about Close your mouth. Transmutate. So, transformation. I would do that now, but I want to transform them as well, so we'll be right back. After, I'm tempted to show the clip of the house hippo. if you guys don't remember the house hippo, allow me to enlighten you. But yeah, we'll be right back.
It's nighttime in a kitchen just like yours. All is quiet. Or is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen, but they will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night to search for food, water, and materials for their nests. The favorite foods of the house hippo are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nests in bedroom closets, using lost mittens, dryer lint, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day.
That looked really real, but you knew it couldn't be true, didn't you? That's why it's good to think about what you're watching on TV and ask questions, kind of like you just did. A message from Concerned Children's Advertisers.
So, transforming Kingdom Rhinox. It's become sort of infamous in its short shelf life so far. But, it's also a bit body horror-esque, because one of the steps you have to do is you literally have to peel open his back. That's good. That's good Hellraiser. Oh, so his feet are right there. The infamous part, what is it when it comes to the legs? Because the legs are some serious nonsense. It took me quite a while to figure out, A, what to do, and even longer to figure out sort of the easiest path to do it. So we can start by separating his legs and pulling his guns out of his ass. Is a sentence I never thought I'd say. So what's the best way I can describe this? Well, this whole chunk is going to become the inner shin with the foot and everything. And this side piece right here is going to become the front of the leg. So, I don't know. We could start with the arms, which is very simple. Just fold out these green panels and then pop out the hands. Rotate the elbow and you're pretty much done with the arms. We can get some of the simple stuff out of the way. But yeah, the majority of the transformation, so you have to sort of unpeg his foot from that, and then you have to get this whole section basically folded. There's no easy way to show this. Fold it, and then you have to fold it essentially again. Actually, you have to, which way is it the easiest? Yes. So you have to go that way, and then the leg can fold up, the tail can fold like that, and fold about that much, which is really dumb. And now you just have to sort of massage. Well, you can get the foot out of the way. Let's do that. Let's get the foot unpegged. And then essentially this part, once you get the foot out of the way, this shin folds down like that. And then you can straighten the leg and tuck everything in behind the flap. So you want a leg that looks like that. It is very awkward, to say the least, on how to get there. But again, you do the same thing. You want that piece rotated, and then fold up the foot, fold up the tail, which can actually fold all the way that way. I didn't know that. Fold in, it pegs into itself. And then it really just sort of sits right there as you do the foldy. And then fold that down and around. Almost. I forgot that the foot was still there. There we go. And fold. And there you have the most annoying bits of the transformation dealt with. The rest is fairly simple. You can fold his rhino head back just far enough to let the shoulders butterfly forward, and then fold them into a proper position like that. So you go up and around. You can bring the head all the way down. The biggest sort of cheat this thing does, which a lot of people don't like, is you open this part, fold those out, and tab them back in, and that's basically what's supposed to be the lower jaw of the beast mode, stretched out into a giant chest plate. And you can also rotate the head around properly. But yeah, it's just a cheat, which I understand given the design they went with, and then just tidy up these bits by putting them up here. And that's pretty much the robot mode. Sans weapons. So, Rhinox's robot mode. The biggest issue I've seen or heard, he's basically as flat as a pancake. Like his body itself, if you ignore the giant, rhino head, I still feel like this guy was supposed to be Slug. Because the original idea for Beast Wars was to do original G1 characters, but in new bodies. So like Optimus Prime was supposed to be Optimus Primal, the original Megatron, and so on and so forth. I really feel like this guy was supposed to be Slug. Like there's too many similar design aesthetics for it to not at least have been an idea. But honestly, I quite like... I think I just like the robot mode because of the character. Like, it's Rhinox. How am I not going to love Rhinox? But yeah, let's take the robot mode with a Savannah worth of salt, and just take him for what he is. He's a very awkward transformation, especially in the legs. And going back the other way, it's confusing as hell. Even reading the instructions, I'm like, wait, what goes where? How does that work? But once you figure it out, it's not too hard. It's just, honestly, it is a bit confusing the first time, or second or third. It takes a little bit of learning process to sort of fully grasp what the toy over engineering wants you to do. Because it feels along like a similar idea as this guy, but this guy had the benefit of simpler engineering, where it was just a panel slides down. But as much as I liked this guy when he came out, he still does have a couple problems. The biggest problem being the looseness of the joints and the hips not locking in any place. These side panels not locking in any place is kind of annoying. One thing I like about this guy that I wish this guy had was the maximal tattoos on his skull. Because this guy, no maximal symbol. None whatsoever. Like, he's got what looks like a spot for a maximal symbol. There's how can we see? A tiny panel right there. That sort of green rectangle. That looks like a spot for, a reveal the shield-esque maximal symbol. But no, he has no brand synergy whatsoever. Come on. Rhinox, you play for the team, alright? There is a small thing you can do that I appreciate if you want to give him a bit more of that open jaw motif. You can actually remove the bottom jaw from his proper beast head. It's the best way to pop it off. It's sort of just held in there by those and some friction. So if you want, you can actually reverse it. If I knew the lyrics to the song I'm thinking of, the Beyonce song, I would, back it up and reverse it, and you can pop it back into place for, a touch of pink, which I do appreciate, even though I won't be keeping him in beast mode on my shelf. It's a nice little touch. I like that he gets proper feet. If I'm just comparing him strictly to the 2012, I'm kind of not a big fan of just these toes out the back of what are his beast mode feet. I appreciate the fact that they gave him proper new stompy racket shoes. What are those called? Where you put them on the bottom of your shoes and you basically can walk on snow and they look like squash rackets or tennis rackets. Yeah, so I wish this guy had a little bit more black from this guy, like, give him some more color diversity. But this guy does have quality on his side with much healthier plastic, much more solid feeling. Nothing's loose. Mind you, there are some unfortunate minor posing hindrances that come from it, but we'll get to that in a second. So, size comparisons first. Here's Rat Trap. Air Razor. It still baffles me that there's, modern Beast Wars toys on the shelf. Like, I couldn't. If you asked me as a kid, while I was growing up watching the low amount of Beast Wars I did, if 25 years later you'd still see these characters on the shelves, I would have never believed you. Green. Even when I saw them in Generations, the Waspinator, Rat Trap, Rhinox, I thought that was it for the characters. I thought, okay, give them a nod. Here you go, Beast Wars was a thing, and then just freaking bum G1 for the rest of Infinity. But not only that, we're getting freaking Transformers Prime characters, inevitably an RID character, Robots in Disguise 2001. Freaking Transmutate over here. Optimus Primal. And you gotta Yeetor that Cheetor. I hate that. I hate the fact that I just said that. Oh, and I wish the guns, another thing I would have kept from the 2013 release, actually properly spinning miniguns. Mind you, these are the US Hasbro versions, so they don't have the proper silver paint. They're just sort of bland beige-ish brown. Also, this guy, I didn't realize he got a different colorization in Takara, in the Takara version. He's basically, his Rhino Mode is like closer to gold. I'm like, really? But, yeah. And let's give Rhinox his proper chain guns. So here they are, plugged into each other as they tend to be, with a proper paint job, with some nice silver along the blade. I'm surprised he never actually used them as a melee weapon, but they do have very tiny handles. Maybe he could, I don't know, throw them as projectiles. Like the, what's the Indian weapon that's basically looks like a frisbee, but it's hollow in the middle? It's just a blade, just a ring of blade, not of Wesley Snipes, but like a bladed ring. Ugh, my death battle knowledge, not death battle, deadliest warrior. I can't exactly remember the weapon I'm picturing, but he does look fairly decent holding these miniguns, chain guns, whatever they're called. He does have the ability to hold the ones I was just, these ones, since they're just a similar peg, but just a longer peg, so you can totally give him that. Or, this is stupid, you can plug them into the backs of his feet. And those are the only other, not the only other 5mm pegs, because he got ones on the section of his beast mode that's not, visible in beast mode. So you can plug guns in there as weapon storage. Or I guess a faux... I popped that off. I never mentioned that in the video that those actually come up, but yeah, you can use them as a faux flight pack, I guess. Look, Ma! He's flying! It's a flying rhino! But... Alright, I guess we have to talk about articulation. So his head is on a ball joint. Can look up. Also, I need a good shot of his head for the thumbnail. There you go. Whichever one of those YouTube wants me to use. I don't... What would you call that expression? Disappointment? With his golden beard and mohawk. I do kind of like the red eyes. You know, flavor and consistency. The look, the look when his daughter comes home with that boy from across the street. Great. Just I don't know. Also, he has ears. I don't know why I appreciate that, but he has ears. Oh, because his Thrilling 30 does not have ears. Hey, they gave Rhinox his ears back. But yes, you can swivel the head 360 degrees before it comes off in your hands. Or is that an owl? Shoulders do have universal range of motion, although unfortunately they suffer from a bit of that Combiner Wars Megatron thing, where they start off looking at the right position, but then suddenly they drop. It's not as bad as Combiner Wars Megatron, it's only a slight drop, but it is still noticeable. And you do have that outward hinge from the Beast Mode, but now you have a bit of butterfly action, which I appreciate quite a bit, because the forward butterfly is not in the transformation. You only need that much butterfly, basically, to achieve Rhino Mode. But that's really nice. You give a little bit of posability I wasn't expecting. You can stick things quite in front of them. What is this pose? Is this the equivalent of holding your gun sideways? It's just pow 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 pow. Wait, no, people actually do that pose in action movies of just holding your guns and like this and shooting. I don't know what the heck I'm friggin'. He's got an elbow joint and a bicep joint, and he does have, due to transformation, a wrist joint, but no wrist rotation. It's just forward and backwards, up. It's not even a down. Just oh well, it kind of is. It might be useful for a sword user. I'm not sure. Waist, one of the joints, unfortunately hindered by his transformation. It can only go that far. Actually, it can kind of have to force it a little for it to keep going, but yeah, it'll go that far. Which is unfortunate, but it is kind of all you need, really. Hips, free forward and backwards. They are unfortunately limited by the hip armor, which is another thing I'll give the 2013. His hips, still with the same armor, but aren't hindered by anything. He's a very limber rhinoceros man. Robot thing. But this guy, unfortunately, not able to do the full Van Damme. He does have a thigh swivel right above the knee. You can go all the way around. And he's got double knee bend due to his ridiculous transformation. To go beyond 90 degrees, although it creates a bit of that sort of a Invisa knee thing where the knee just disappears. So if you want, you can just go slightly. You can go use the top knee bend for 90 degrees, or use the bottom bend for just under. So that's a nice choice. And you've got a dedicated hinge, two-way hinge for the foot. So it can go forward and backward, although at a slight angle. And it can tilt all the way in. So posability, overall, not bad. He has some minor limitations due to his design, which is unfortunate, but overall, he does have some dynamic poses in him, I think. He's not a super limber character, but then again, he doesn't really need to be. He's the basically one of the big muscle men of the Maximal team, along with Dinobot and Primal. So he really doesn't need to be super athletic. Also, I really like this polished sort of armor aesthetic, barely covering up the mess inside. Same. And even that has some bonus molded in gribblies and just random unnecessary things. So, Rhinox, he's slightly flawed. He's unfortunately the closest one to being a miss, just design-wise, and the plastic. Well, not the plastic. The plastic is amazing, but like the small nitpicks sort of hamper Rhinox a bit. But god damn it, he's Rhinox. You cannot tell me for 1 second that Rhinox is not a sellable character. Freaking. I even showed the clip of Rhinox earlier, but okay. One thing I want, and one thing only, that we didn't get with the Thrilling 30 version. I want the Predacon repaint of Rhinox. Because there was at least one episode where Rhinox joined the Predacons. His rhino skin had become purple. His gold had become silver. I want a Generation Select of that version of Rhinox. Just to create recreate the scenes where he's abusing poor old Scorponok. Dropping boxes on him, outwitting him at every turn. He freaking almost took over the Predacon. I spit everywhere. The Predacons completely from under Megatron. Like, he was so good as a bad guy. Which is probably where they got the idea to turn him into Tankor in goddamn Beast Machines. But we don't talk about Beast Machines. Even though I just brought it up. So, I want that in either Generation Selects or freaking Legacy. Speaking of Legacy, who saw the PulseCon announcements for the next toy line after Kingdom? Who's excited for Legacy? I am considering doing a video recording, just like showing this stuff and giving my sort of reactions to it. Both the Power Rangers and the Transformers stuff, because those are the only two things from PulseCon that really interest me. I don't really care about G.I. Joe at all. The only thing I know about G.I. Joe is that Sergeant Slaughter was in it once. So, yeah, here's a thought. You tell me, either liking or commenting, if you want me to do that sort of video of just giving you, like, putting this stuff on screen and sort of reacting to it, to what I think. So, thank you for watching. This video has gone a bit longer than I wanted. I recommend Rhinox on the strength of the character. The toy is flawed, but I still love it. Maybe I'm just flawed as a human being, but aren't we all? Until next time, get yourself some chain guns and keep it weird. But don't bring those chain guns into Target because you don't need them for self-defense. Bye. This is a Jim Jeffries reference. Except the chainsaw. My protection chainsaw. Oh wait, I'm still recording.